extracted the information from this, and along with the citations also, and wherever this particular thing has been cited, and that information has been available there for us. Okay, so this is the way the mind map can be used. uh, the next important point, I think ये भी इसको भी ट्राई कर लीजिएगा, माइंड मैप को तो ट्राई करना है आपको. उसके बाद में इसके बाद then you can go for a briefing document. अच्छा, how many of you completed the mind map? And write down in the chat box. Out of 138, write down in the chat box माइंड मैप कंप्लीटेड करके लिखना है. यस करके लिख दो, समझ में आएगा. यस के जगह वाई भी लिखो तो समझ में आ जाएगा.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, madam. Yes.
Sir, if I'm trying to press mind map, it is not showing anything.
आप एक काम कर लीजिएगा. What is the browser you are using? That's important. Can you show me? I'm shopping my screen. Can you show me that what is the error which is coming on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, some of you are asking me to repeat it. I'll repeat it, not a problem. Such, first of all, listen to, I think with the help of Shalini ji's mind map, we'll be trying to explain.
Sir, this is the page. Sir, if I'm trying to do, is it visible, sir?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Actually, you make it small. The page you make it small. The page you make it small. So everything will be coming in one line. Okay, fine. Just scroll it down. That's all. This is the one.
Sir, if I'm trying to press it, showing nothing, sir. Mind map.
No. That's what I'm saying. That the page, whatever.
Yes,
first of all, reduce the font, reduce the size. You may, I think it's around 120%. You make it around 90% around. Zoom out. Acha. Still, if you can able to reduce it, then it will work. Or otherwise, use an alternative. Which browser you are using? No. Close. Click on the studio. Click on the studio. Studio node. Yeah. Click that. Okay. Scroll it down. Scrolling down the understanding, motivation, meaning, and importance. There is a bar. Scrolling down, middle bar, middle page. There is a bar. Just scroll it down. Now try it out. Now try. Which is the browser you are using? Shalini, which is the browser you are using?
Internet Explorer, sir.
Why don't you move to Google Grave? Yeah.
Okay, fine.
And you can try it out. It will work.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you stop sharing the screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So there is another thing, like what we want to say that let me show you something interesting to all of you. I think I must have earlier also must have explained. I am going to show you some of the interesting tools, because there is a query by one of the participants, so that's what I want to show. Yeah, look at this. Of course, somebody is saying it's not a mind map; it is being generated, and the concepts have been explained. Look at this one. See, there are so many options are already available for us. Probably people must have been aware and people must be using it. My Logo, My Master, Myro, Google Drawing, Concept Board, Google Bubblers, and IMAP. These are the options which has been already available to create a mind map. But here, what is happening? Here, what is happening? Whatever the data you have uploaded into the notebook, it has created an option for us. And if you find something better than this one, yeah, please go ahead. And also please share it into the in our groups also, that we all get updated. Basically, we are trying to explain that how this the 14 pages of the document. 14 pages of the document we want to explain to the students. We found it one of the option which is being available as a mind map. This can be explained better with the participants, with the students. Okay, that's the one point. Now let's try with the study guide also. And there are some options are already available. Otherwise, if you want to generate the study guide separately, a lot of efforts need to be done. Okay, if you click on the study guide option, which is on the right side of on the screen, okay, the study guide has been created. The study guide created on the basis of the information which has been provided in the notebook element. So the study guide, when we upload the study guide, what are the things it has created? It has created some quiz questions and answer keys of the quiz also, and essay format questions has created, and glossary has been created, and again. Kindly mute yourself, please. Kindly mute yourself, please. Okay. So this is one of the option. How to use this one, I'm leaving for you. I don't come into the judgmental saying that, but I have been using this one very comfortably. When I explain the other part of it, I'll let you know that. So this study guide is very interesting and important thing. Uh, so generate the study guide and confirm in the chat box you have done it. हाँ जी आशुतोष जी बोलिए. आशुतोष.
यस सर.
हाँ
आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ आवाज आ रही, बताइए.
सर ऐसे
अभी बंद हो गया, आवाज बंद हो गया आपके.
आपको शो नहीं कर रहा है.
आशुतोष जी आपका आवाज कट रहे हो, सुनाई नहीं दे रहे.
हेलो, आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ अब आवाज आ रही है. आप बोलिए क्या कह रहे हैं?
सर स्क्रीन शो नहीं हो रही है सर.
नहीं, आपका इंटरनेट का इश्यू है यार. आप एक बार देख लो, बाकी सबको हो रहा है. आपका इंटरनेट का इश्यू होगा. ओके. Now I request all the participants, please confirm that study guide part has to be completed, and after the study guide we will be going to the briefing document, how to prepare the briefing document, and one more interesting part is that once the job has been completed, if you don't want, you can delete this, or if you simply click that studio option, you will come back to that main screen also. Okay, after the study guide, we will try to prepare the briefing document. So the beauty of the briefing document is entire 14 pages of the document has been prepared with around maximum 3 to 4 pages. Yes, Chandra Tiwari, boliye.
Sir, good morning, sir. Sir, on the extreme left, we see a PDF. I'm not able to understand what is that. Something like source document.
आपने अरे मैडम आप कल हमने ईपीजी पाठशाला से डाउनलोड किया,
जी जी
वही डॉक्यूमेंट हमने यहाँ अपलोड करके उसी से हम काम कर रहे हैं ना।
यस सर, ठीक है। अब मगर मैंने स्टडी गाइड जनरेट कर लिया है विद ऐसे क्वेश्चंस एंड क्विज।
ये कहाँ से
हाउ
किया
डू आई?
आपने? नहीं, वही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ, आपने उसी को बेसिस पे आप भी कोई फाइल अपलोड किया होगा ऐसा ही।
यस सर, आई गॉट इट, आई गॉट योर पॉइंट। वो सोर्स डॉक्यूमेंट है यू
वही
मीन टू
सोर्स
से।
डॉक्यूमेंट, और इसमें ये
अब मैं मेरा एक दूसरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि मैंने स्टडी गाइड जनरेट कर लिया है विथ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस एंड लास्ट में क्विज भी है। नाउ हाउ डू आई यूज इट इन माय क्लासरूम? आई वांट टू कैरी इट एज अ पीडीएफ।
आप रुक जाओ ना, अभी 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 तो आप इसको नोटबुक एलएम में कुछ फीचर्स को यूज कर रहे हैं। अब इसको आगे आगे बता देंगे हम आपको, अभी एकदम से नहीं हो पाएगा मैडम। अभी
Okay,
तो हम लोग
thank
क्या कर रहे थे, उसको हमें ब्लेंडेड लर्निंग एनवायरनमेंट को क्रिएट करने के लिए वी हैव क्रिएटेड हाउ टू सेट अप दिस काइंड ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट, okay, and we will be taking one by one. So I think everybody generated the briefing document. After the briefing document was done, the next one is FAQ. FAQ and FAQ के ऊपर भी एक बार क्लिक कर दीजिएगा. Click on the FAQ option. When you click on the FAQ button, you can see the fundamentals for the human resource development का. ये देखिए FAQs आ गया. FAQs आ गया देखिए. अच्छा, there is one more interesting point as such. For every action, जब आप नीचे जाएंगे, यहाँ देखिए एक ऑप्शन आपको दिख रहा है, कन्वर्ट टू सोर्स. कन्वर्ट टू सोर्स करके, if you click on that, it will be adding as a source. It will be adding as a source into the document. Okay. So the point what I am trying to say that so you can multiple sources can be created. Actually we started with a single source of 13 पेज का डॉक्यूमेंट है. उसी डॉक्यूमेंट को लेके हमने समरी बनाया, उसी डॉक्यूमेंट की समरी को हमने हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट किया था. Then of course we provided study guide, we provided the briefing document, we provided the FAQ. Of course timeline की कोई जरूरत तो नहीं है, but if at all, if you want to again going back to this one, so click on the timeline. इस डॉक्यूमेंट का कोई टाइमलाइन है and that will be available for the for us. Okay, this is how the timeline has been created. Of course अलग-अलग people हैं, अलग-अलग context के साथ लोगों ने बोला था. And one more important point is if you don't want to use all these things and simply you move the cursor over here and delete the note. The note will get deleted. Similarly, fundamentals ये भी delete करना है, delete कर रहा हूँ. मैं delete कर रहा हूँ एक एक करके, क्या ताकि मैं एक और चीज यूज करूँगा. delete मैंने कर दिया था, यहाँ भी delete मैंने कर दिया. Okay, and the same thing the principles of functions ये भी मैंने आपको delete मैंने कर दिया था. Okay, now the source also I don't want to, so source को भी मैं delete कर देता हूँ. Okay, source also deleted. Now in place of this, we will try to upload the video link. Okay, again for the benefit of all the participants, EPG पाठशाला से video link मैंने कैसे लिया था वो बता रहा हूँ. I hope everybody is following me. Everybody is following me now.
Yes sir.
Yes, sir. Now here I went to EPG पाठशाला. I click on the management. Management पे click करने के बाद then I select the paper of human resource management. The module I selected on introduction to the HRM. Now, of course, already e-text the analysis has been completed. Using the e-text, we created a summary and we created a lesson plan. We created briefing document, we created the study guide, FAQs, timelines has been created, so that some questions also generated, and we have a fair bit of idea that how this topic need to be projected to the students. Similarly, there is something called self-learning is there, self-learning video is there. Okay, so this self-learning video also इसको share करके copy कर सकते हो, या कॉपी वीडियो URL लिया था मैंने. Then I went to notebook LM, notebook LM, एंड नोटबुक एलएम में जाने के बाद जब यूट्यूब में यहाँ देखिए इट्स अ यूट्यूब वीडियो, आई वेंट ऑन द यूट्यूब वीडियो and I click and I pasted the YouTube video URL over here and I click the insert button. So earlier हमने PDF फाइल को अपलोड किया था. Earlier we have uploaded the PDF file. Yesterday we have already copied it. अभी वो चीज यहाँ आ गई. ठीक है. And now you got the video option here. Okay. इस video option आने के बाद okay, let me repeat the step once again. I'm repeating the step once again. So, okay, first and foremost thing, we are there in this page, and okay, number one. Number two, create new. Click on create new. Now, the source of the source which we are going to add is a YouTube video. Okay, so earlier the source is a PDF file which we selected over here. This one has been selected. Now the source is YouTube, so I click on the YouTube here. Then I pasted the link over here. I pasted the link here. Then I click on the insert button. When I click on the insert button, see what happened. The similar way everything has been generated. Okay, so I don't explain here. Now you generate the mind map. Take your own time. Generate the mind map. Generate the study guide. Third one, generate the briefing document. Fourth one, FAQ, and fifth one, timeline. And last one, deep dive conversation. Deep dive conversation. Okay, go ahead. Your time starts now. With this video. In the video now.
Sir, do we need to delete the previous one?
Yes, no, delete कर दीजिएगा, yeah.
सर प्लीज रिपीट क्या क्या करना है. माइंड मैप, ब्रीफिंग,
Mind map, study guide, briefing doc, FAQ, timeline, and audio podcast. 6.
So do we have to share it or just write done?
No. Once you completed it, then you can do it. First of all, delete the earlier one. Okay. Usha, I think you want me to show it once again. Okay, look it on the screen, please. Some of the participants are asking how to delete the source. Move your cursor towards the left-hand side, the source part. 3 dots are coming. If you click on the remove source, the source gets deleted. Okay, Usha, fine. Go ahead.
सर माइंड मैप और टाइमलाइन का मतलब क्या है?
Mind map is a pictorial representation of the concept and connecting the images with the text, with the citations. And the other one, FAQ, you are asking, right?
आई थिंक नो नॉट टाइमलाइन बोले ना आप बोले माइंड मैप करो, स्टडी गाइड, टाइमलाइन, ब्रीफ, एफएक्यू, ऑडियो पॉडकास्ट. टाइमलाइन
छह चीज करना है.
टाइमलाइन क्या है सर?
माइंड मैप,
टाइमलाइन
स्टडी गाइड, सुनो पहली बात सुनो, माइंड मैप, स्टडी गाइड, ब्रीफिंग टॉक, FAQ, टाइमलाइन एंड फाइनली ऑडियो पॉडकास्ट.
टाइमलाइन क्या है सर?
एक बार करो ना, करके देखो ना.
ओके
आप खुद करो एक बार, आपको खुद पता चलेगा. थैंक यू योगेंद्र, थैंक यू.
So the last one you talk about is audio what sir?
या ऑडियो पॉडकास्ट.
So ये कहाँ से आएगा एक बार बता दीजिए, बाकी सब हो गए हैं.
मैं एक बार करने दीजिए ना, बाकी लोगों को करने दीजिएगा, मैं बता.
ये
जस्ट मैं 2-3 मिनट समय एक्स्ट्रा दे रहा हूँ इसके लिए.
Sir, good morning, sir. It is generated, sir. Where we can change this one?
सर need अभी right now no need sir, no need.
Okay.
I trust you that you are generated.
Yeah.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर. सर मैंने पॉडकास्ट जनरेट करने का ट्राई किया है, बट उसको ट्रांसक्रिप्ट दे दिया है पर कोई ऑडियो जनरेट नहीं हो पा रहा है.
आज आ जाएगा, मैं बता दूंगा आपको, पहले तो
एक्सपेक्टेड टाइम ऑडियो जनरेशन टेक टाइम, बट इट कम्स.
of course. This is only tip of the iceberg. So many things will be adding during course of time. Yeah, दोनों सेम है. ऑडियो पॉडकास्ट, ऑडियो सवा 11 से 11:30 तक टी ब्रेक, उसे दौड़ना पड़ सकता.
हेलो
Good. I could able to see people are saying all tasks completed.
আপনি নোটবুক এলএম খুলেছেন? নোটবুক এলএম খুলতে হবে. নোটবুক ব্ল্যাঙ্ক এলএম গুগলে লিখলে খুলবে.
There is one interesting settings in this software. Now, right now, whatever you do, it is coming in English only. For example, you want something in Hindi only, the setting can be done. Okay? So I will be demonstrating that. You can practice it later also. So for example, in this case, look at this one, where it is located. You can see on the top, there is an option called settings here. Okay? So you take the cursor over there and you can see there is a third option called output language. The third option is output language. So it is by default, it was written as a default only. For example, our Indian languages are given at the bottom. Hindi is here. Of course, what are the languages? You have Konkani, you have Nepali, Marathi, Maithili, Hindi, Assami, Bangla, Gujarati, Oriya, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam are there. Okay? So let me select Hindi and say hope you must have seen it, what is coming in. You change the source language, you change the language into the preferred one and observe the changes. The settings, output language. See, the language part, Nepali. So what I said, by default it is showing English only. If at all, if you want to change, if you want to put every language, so go to the settings on the top. On the top there is something called settings. Scroll it down and third option is output language. In the output language, choose your language override as Hindi only. Okay? By default it was default only Indian. Now I made it as a Hindi. In place of Hindi, now I will take Telugu. I will save it in Telugu. I refresh the page. My entire text, the inputs will be changed into the Telugu itself. Okay? This is the way the output language can be helpful for us. You try it out, and what is important to me, how this output language, which is which we change from default to the respected language, will be helpful for you. वो सोच लीजिए, वो चीज सोचना है हमें. अभी आपको समझ में आ रहा है? ये चीज ऑलरेडी हम लोग कर रहे थे. इन चीजों को तो देखिए, don't expect everything a foolproof. I think somebody is saying that, yes, reliability. अरे देखिए कि we are the subject experts. We know whether it is reliable or not. Second point is, unless and until you used it, how can you come to a conclusion? Okay, you have to prepare, you have to try these platforms, and then only you will come to know. अभी तक
The more users use it, the data will increase and
Can I tell you, Prada, I was there in the Anuvadini, Anuvadika, even in the Bhashani, the initial stages. And initially so much effort has to be made to train that application. So it's not happening, and luckily that way, Anuvadini, for I think legal data they have translated, and they took a lot of time. And they got 800 to 900 language libraries they have created. Then only finally it has come up to that list. So to keep it, these things do happen. And everything is possible. I mean, can I tell you something, friends? Very interestingly. And we are, in this country, we are there to criticize everything because we have a freedom of speech. When it comes to really working with the people over there, I'm sorry to say that, very few hands listen. Because people say, अरे यार मुझे तो ये भी करना है, अरे तरह तरह से भी देखना है, PhD स्कॉलर का काम है, यूनिवर्सिटी का काम है, everybody is having काम. But my point is that I think unless and until we people to come forward, things cannot be able to happen, and it's a lot of effort is required to be done. Yes, Mahesh.
Sir, recent machine translation, there are machine translation. So professional people are using great tools. So in the first day they are taking help of this machine translation done by AI or some other web-based translator, and then they do with the TED tool. There are professional TED tools are available. So based on memory power and experience available in the TED tools, they will do the translation.
But Usually problem is we have to orient, sensitize a teacher who is working in a college in a remotest place. So
that I understand, but just I'm adding some, I'm going to agree with you from the first day. So just I'm adding information.
correct. Thank you very much.
Because I'm feeling that I'm HP, that I put in that. So whatever I do, I have to share with some people.
Okay, fine. I think let's move on to the from here we'll be moving to the next interesting part of it. Now, of course, the next interesting part which is required to be understood is leveraging the AI is Sheetal. Jibuli.
Yes, sir. Shall we open the no link level like yesterday for our task? I will just join, sir. That's why I'm asking.
Madam, we have completed the notebook element. We are moving to the next one. Right?
Okay, fine. Which one? So,
Notebook element part is completed. Now look at the.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Notebook LM job has been successfully completed, and we have learned few more additional things in comparison with that. Now the next interesting thing is about the learner-centric approach. So how the AI skills are going to be helpful and useful for us in this learner-centric approach? A little bit of theoretical understanding has to be given for this, then we will move into it. So the NEP 2020 and learner-centric, one of the key pillars of the national education policy is learner-centric approach. So this approach views learners as active agents who bring their own knowledge, past experiences in education and ideas to the learning process. And after this brief theoretical understanding, we will be pushing to the practical part of it. Definitely you will like it. So it significantly differs from traditional instructor-centered approach, which focuses on the teacher as a primary source of knowledge and student as a passive recipient. So the learner-centric approach has, they have certain basic interesting things out there. So second level, help the learners to develop critical thinking skills. When learners are encouraged to ask the questions, challenge the status quo, the things can come up. Similarly, the growth mindset. There are certain very interesting examples are also there. This I will take up little later. So again, using the document or the video, how do we create? I think on the first day, Professor Narsimlu must have explained to you about the experiential learning environment. So how the learner-centric approach can be implemented in the classroom? There are three important methods out there. One is an active learning method. I have given enough hands-on activities in the Google Classroom also in this regard. Project-based learning as well as the self-directed learning, and how these approaches can be. Of course, it has got its own challenges and all. The question here is, how do we implement it? So this model has been, the IIT Mumbai, Sridhar Iyer team has created one interesting model called, they call it as learner-centric digital pedagogical model. Basically, they developed this model for their books development, okay? But here, some of the components are definitely helpful and useful for us. I'm going to run some interesting videos connecting to this. I request all the participants to kindly watch it carefully. First video. When we are creating our books, it is not sufficient to simply focus on information transmission and making accessible the various activities that one will do in the classroom. It is necessary to ensure that we follow
LC model consists of learning dialogues which promote concept attainment through learner interaction, learning by doing, which is a formative assessment activity, learning extension trajectories which advance learners' learning along diverse paths, learning experience interactions which cultivate peer learning through focus discussions. In addition to these elements, it is important to keep in mind the orchestration. That is, the process by which the course team designs the interactions for the learners, as well as assists and guides the learners through the book. Now that you have seen the different elements in the LC model, imagine a typical classroom scenario. Can you identify one or more of these LCM elements in this scenario? Pause the video and write down your answer. After you are done, resume. Some of you may have thought of lectures and demos. Some may have thought about activities. Others may have thought about additional resources that are provided. And some may have thought about discussions. Now, let us see how these map to the LCM model. In going from the traditional model, be it a classroom or a book, to the learner-centric book model, what we need to keep in mind is, instead of simply creating lectures and demos,
I request all the participants to write down these points, very important.
and making them available, we now create learning dialogues or LEDs. Instead of simply making activities and homeworks available to students.
Atulya, please mute yourself.
Friends, we now create learning by doing activities or LBDs with customized feedback. Instead of simply making discussion forum platforms available to students, we now have learner experience interactions or LXIs. These are driven by focused questions and exploit the power of peer learning. Instead of simply making some resources available to learners, we now have learning extension trajectories or LXTs. These are LXTs.
So what is important to note here? Somebody's microphone is on. Oh, it's better. Yeah. Okay. So what is important here is, instead of lectures and demonstrations, we will be converting into LED, learning dialogue, which we will be working on here. Very useful for all of us. And assignments and activities are can be converted as a LBD, learning by doing, and other two things are theoretical in nature. Okay. So this is the first part of it. Now, coming to the next one. So this is what the picture is being all about. So the learner-centric pedagogical model consists of lectures, some homework, and additional reading material, and the clarifications and discussions. So what is important is, in place of simple giving a video to be shared. Achha, one more, by the way, one important point to be noted down. You must have noted down something about in the video. See what happened? He has spoken certain things, and after speaking it, then he posed a question on your screen. Then he has given some explanation. Okay, so some of the videos in this workshop, you have to prepare the similar form. He spoke for a few seconds with the help of a PPT. Then afterwards, he posed a question there. The question is there, and he kept silent for around 10 seconds. Then he started giving an explanation connecting to that. Okay, Shani. So this is about and this is the learner-centric model as such. And here one interesting point which I wish to draw your attention is, because we are focusing mostly on LED, learning dialogues.
So what is the learning dialogue? It promotes the concept acquisition through active learner engagement, learner interaction. Okay. Now read this paragraph carefully, please. So firstly, it's talking about LED, which is learning dialogue, which promotes the concept acquisition through active learner interaction. Each LED consisting of a short video providing conceptual knowledge with explicit reflection spots on the learner to express prior conceptions or perform micro practice. At a reflection spot, certain things will used to happen. Okay. Now, what is this NEP is all about? And watch this process carefully. There's again a small video. The neurosynthetmic model consists of learning dialogues, learning by doing, learning extension trajectories, learner experience interactions, all of which are connected through appropriate orchestration between the course team and the learners. We will now discuss about learning dialogue. Broadly speaking, learning dialogue consists of content, which may be a video, explanation of the topic, interspersed with one or more reflection spots. Reflection spot is a point where the content is paused and the learner is required to answer a question. What exactly is the content? The content could typically be a short video explanation. I request wherever it is required, I pause the video. I request all the participants kindly write down these points, please. Or it could be some.
फिर थोड़ा सा पीछे कर दीजिए.
Takes. Okay? Now,
Yes.
let's go about it, okay? Because we'll be focusing on LED only, most of LED or LED both. The learners. We will now discuss about learning dialogues. Broadly speaking, learning dialogue consists of content, which may be a video, explanation of the topic, interspersed with one or more reflection spots. Reflection spot is a point where the content is paused and the learner is required to answer a question. What exactly is the content? The content could typically be a short video explanation, or it could be some text which the instructor wants the learner to read, or it could be animation. So any concept that the instructor wants the learner to acquire could be captured as the content. Is it sufficient to only capture the content? Like many of us have seen reviews which go on and on. So even if the videos are short, many of us do not see the reviews beyond a certain point. So what a learning dialogue does is something more than simply provide the content. The learning dialogue has a reflection spot. Conceptually, the reflection spot is a question that makes the learner pause, reflect on the preceding content, express their thinking. Reflection spot allows the learner to micro practice और यहाँ तक नोट कर लीजिएगा सबको. ये points पे नोट कर लीजिएगा क्योंकि when you prepare the reflection spot, you have to take care of all these things. Done.
Okay. So now the next point is
simply apply the concept that they have learned immediately. Operationally, the reflection spot may be implemented as a multiple choice question or as a fill in the blanks or even as a short answer question. The reflection spot is followed by content. Once again, this content may be a summary of what were the expected answers in the reflection spot, or it may be continuing further from the reflection spot.
देखिए और नीचे का दोनों में लिखते हैं summary with expected outcomes.
The key idea here is to have the reflection spot question in such a way that it is connected to the content that is immediately preceding it as well as to the content that is immediately following it. The goal of a learning dialogue is to provide this conceptual knowledge along with explicit spots for learners to express their conceptions, do micro-practice and reflect on what they have learned.
This is important. I want everybody to write down here. So the goal of the LED, because a lot of LEDs you are going to prepare conceptual knowledge with explicit spots for learner to express prior conceptions, micro practice and reflect. Okay.
How does an instructor do that? The instructor does that by creating a learning dialogue which has content and reflection spots which are related to each other. The learners access the content and then
I'll stop it here. I'll take you to the next one, which is chunking a lecture into a LED. Okay, so already there is a lecture. How do you chunk it into a LED? So watch this video also carefully. This is again very important video for all of us.
we will now discuss how to create LEDs. The LCA model consists of learning dialogues, learning by doing activities, learner experience interactions, and learning extension trajectories.
Somebody is saying something. I would not say that. Sir, could you please disable the subtitles? बिल्कुल 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 check.
The learning dialogues or LEDs promote concept acquisition through learner interaction. What does this mean? Means that we create content which the learner watches or reads, followed by a reflection spot when the learner expresses their opinions or does some micro practice,
Chunking
followed by
a
some more
lecture into
content
LED.
wherein the learner is able to assimilate the content in the LED. Now, the question is, how do we create LEDs? We are used to giving lectures in which we have natural pause points where we go to a deeper understanding of the topic, or we give an example, or we ask a question to the student, or we respond to the student's queries.
Write down these things, please. My request is I'm giving enough time for you. Already all these things are there, so don't take screenshots. Screenshots may not be helpful. So write down if possible. Provide an example. I'm giving you space for you to do it because we have enough time for you. Okay?
All of these natural pause points are actually the points where we can chunk a lecture into multiple LEDs. Having said that, here is a reflection spot. Consider a topic on which you have given a lecture and identify the pause points in that lecture where we can create LEDs. Once you have thought about this, you can press resume to continue with the video. This is the question here given. So I think what I am trying to say that you are going to create some of the videos in this workshop. Maybe you may be doing somewhere something else differently, but in this workshop some of the videos in the project has to be created like this. While explaining, while preparing the PPT itself, you have to add one reflection spot which is connecting the previous knowledge, and after the reflection spot you have to explain it further. Okay, this is what it has been given over here. And he has given a pause for 10 seconds. So have you thought about chunking your lecture into a series of multiple activities? Some of you may have thought about giving the explanation in multiple pieces. Others may have thought about including examples. Some others may have thought about providing clarifications or note down these points please. Checking points could be explanation, examples, clarification, questions and demonstrations. Showing some demos. All of these are valid ways for chunking a lecture into activities. As an example, let's consider a programming course says one. Okay, I stop it here. Now, another one, the last one is introduction to reflection spot. Okay, and introduction to reflection spot. Watch this video carefully. Concept acquisition through learner interaction. Enabling or learning dialogue promotes concept acquisition through learner interaction. We have seen how to take a 1-hour lecture and chunk it into a sequence of multiple LEDs by identifying the pause points in the lecture. However, that's not enough. We still need to provide for learner interaction within the LED. Why is this important? This is because content transmission in a monologue form can result in learners getting disengaged with the content, however short that content may be. Hence, it is necessary to provide points where learners can connect with the content and interact. This is called a reflection spot. The reflection spot in the LED. This is very important, friends. Please write down. It is a logical point where we provide the learner with opportunities for micro-practice, to assimilate what they have just learned, as well as to express their opinion or interact with the content in some way. It's a structural point where the learners may get disengaged. The question you have to please write down this point is important, because when we practically do this, there are two interesting examples I'm going to tell you, demonstrate to you after the tape break, which carries these points. Yeah.
So what is opine? Is it opinion?
No, opinion. So, at any point when you feel that the learner is likely to get disengaged, that is a good spot to introduce the reflection spot. Reflection spot can be implemented in multiple ways. In the simplest way, it could be a multiple choice question or a 1 or 2 line answer. Please note down this point also, please. Okay. So reflection spot can be implemented as a multiple choice, open-ended, and many other models are also there, because he has only mentioned a few over here. Because we will be exploring the two interesting tools, and both of them are having very interesting points and such.
So in a 5-minute video, if we are creating a 5-minute video, so 1 or 2 reflection spots can be there?
It depends on the video. Now, how important is that concept? Basically, we are providing this video to the students before the class, or after the class is over for some completing the project work or some assignment kind of a thing. So it depends on your logic, not necessarily 1, 2, 3 or 4. I think let's break for the day now. It's almost 11:14 now. And after, as soon as we complete, we come back and I'll show you an interesting video how this reflection sports can be added. Then afterwards we'll be practically taking step by step to create that. There are 2 interesting softwares out there to complete that. Okay, let's break for tea and come back by 11:30.